Welcome to this episode of the Collaboration Space with AVI SPL. I'm Steph Beckett, and today I'm joined by Josh Blaylock, Solutions Architect for Logitech. Welcome.
Thank you, Steph. I appreciate you having me.
Of course. So you and I today are going to be talking about, dare I say, the hybrid workplace a little bit and ways that companies can kind of help support employees, whether they're in person or working from home. So to start, I'll ask you, in this new scenario that companies are having to kind of make quick decisions for, how can businesses remain productive while allowing all employees to feel safe and included and kind of at home, even if they're at work and not at home?
Right. And I love it. I mean, hybrid workplace is a term that is becoming it's finding its place as one of the new buzzwords, right? But it is
Yep.
because every organization is having to grapple with what that means for them. And it does usually mean many different things across the spectrum. They need to enable employees to work from home in addition to being able to come back into the office. Sometimes it's somewhere in between, with some time at home, some time at the office. A lot of businesses have a desire to get employees back in the office if they can without pushing them too hard. And so they need to find solutions that support that and encourage employees to come back, help them feel safe and welcome in that workspace. That means for an employee to come back to the office and not just into the office, but walk into a meeting room, right? Where everyone is a little bit closer and there's a little more proximity. The technology needs to allow them to feel like some of those points of concern are alleviated. You think of a conference room, you're walking in and you're touching things. And in this day and age, touching stuff that someone else is touching is not always the most welcoming thought in terms of keeping it all clean. You can keep wipes in the room and different cleansers, but you'll want solutions that allow you to walk in the room and invoke an AI with your voice so that you can start a meeting without having to touch anything. You'll want technology that allows you to walk into a room with your laptop and start wirelessly casting your screen to the meeting room. To do the same with your mobile phone if you're walking around on a meeting on your phone. And so having the right solution, not just the platform you're on, but the equipment that supports it, is an extremely important thing. Going one step beyond that, the other side of it is making sure that the employees that are at home still, or even just mobile and on the go, that they are continuing to feel included and safe where they're at. Maybe being at home is the safest they can feel, and that's going to be the way it is. So we don't want to just send them home with the cheapest setup you can or the flimsiest, whatever remote worker out of the box setup you can. You want the right tools for the right meeting experience so that everybody is presented clear and bright and their setup is what it needs to be productive. So having these devices and all these different places in the right way with the right solution becomes very important for finding that new norm of modern hybrid workplace.
No, exactly. And we've talked about that there's kind of a shift now in the way that we kind of all work together with our coworkers. So also, how is this going to shape and kind of impact the way that IT departments deploy and manage the assets that employees need to be able to work? Like, how is that going to work moving forward, in your opinion?
Right. And that's tricky for them to tackle because it's one thing to say, oh, we're just going to get devices here, get devices there. Everyone feels comfortable. We move on. From an
Mm-hmm.
IT and corporate perspective, now you've got assets spread all over the place. Your control starts
Everywhere.
to feel like it's slipping. How do you handle that? How do you track it properly? The systems that were in place weren't exactly meant for this. So it's going to be extremely important to have products, portals where you can get all of your assets loaded and hopefully not just load an asset to know that it's out there, but hopefully be able to have some sort of real-time monitoring to know if devices need firmware, if they're down and need to be troubleshot before you get that trouble ticket coming in. Businesses are going to need portals that'll do all that for them. It can be okay to have multiple portals, but having a single portal to manage as many devices as possible, kind of like Logitech Select, can be a really big time saver and life saver for most organizations as they wade into this new norm.
No, exactly. Well, thank you so much. I believe that's all the time we had, Josh, but I wanted to thank you again for hopping on here with me to discuss that. I think that'll be really helpful for people moving forward.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me once again and look forward to seeing how things shape out for everyone's hybrid workplace.
Exactly. So this has been another episode of the Collaboration Space with AVI SPL. I'm Steph Beckett, and we will see you next time. Bye. For more information, please visit avispl.com/Logitech.